What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. If she doesn't stay in line, you better believe I'm calling 1-800-IMMIGRATION on her. It's the one and only Teresa, and you better believe I'm not scared to. I got it on.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
I got it on speed dial, Teresa. 1-800-IMMIGRATION. 1-800-IMMIGRATION seems like a billboard you would see in Florida.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure it actually exists.
Immigrants stealing your job, call 1-800-IMMIGRATION.
And in between all the fuck bombs that Andrei was dropping and all the mispronunciations, there was one moment when he actually said USCIS.
I was listening closely this episode.
One moment.
He mumbles it. He just kind of strings all the letters together.
He forgets one of the letters. He said UCIS.
Oh, really?
Or US. Yeah. I'm like, no. One time. Once. He said it right once.
All right. Geez. Are you the immigration police over here? What's going on?
I may as well be because all these people are a bunch of morons.
This was an episode where if we had a table in front of us, I would be smacking my head against it while we were watching it because it was just a lot of stupidity.
Yes.
A lot of morons.
We don't drink anymore during the week, but if we were, and we were going to have a shot every single time someone is being a moron, I would be under the table.
1 Heineken and 3 shots of vodka.
That's what we would be getting ourselves into, but make it a double. Yeah. Woo! What an episode.
Yeah, what an episode. It was good, but a lot of morons.
Quite a bit to talk about.
You know, I yelled at the TV several times.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You sure did. All right. Well, save your voice because you're going to need it for this podcast. Before we get into it, guys, a couple housekeeping items here.
Classic.
We'll do it quick. Follow us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. It's a good time. We keep you posted on things over there. We keep you posted on things related to the pod, related to 90 Day Fiancé sometimes, related to all sorts of things. But most importantly, on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod, you guys message us. And we love that. We love talking with you guys. We love communicating with you, hearing your takes on the show, hearing your thoughts, just sending us a meme or a news article. It's all happening on Instagram.
Yes. And guys, I don't know if you were going to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up.
Okay.
This weekend, we went to see our friends, the Reality Gays in Tampa.
I don't know how much we can say, Teresa. I don't know. How graphic are you going to get? Because
not really, but I was just going to say we met some of our friends, new friends.
Yes.
And it was so much fun. It was so awesome. And so besides the actual show that they put out, which is great, guys, I definitely recommend if you get a chance, go and see them. But we met some of the peeps who listened to us, and we were friends. We're all friends.
It was nice. Yeah, it was nice meeting you guys in person. For those of you who met, if we haven't met you, we'd love to meet you. But until then, slide into our DMs.
Yeah, slide into our DMs, and this is where I'm gonna stop with the graphic explanation.
Okay. Well, that was great. Yes, thank you.
No, it was so much fun.
Thank you for bringing a little too much fun. If this podcast is delayed, and it is, it's because we had too much fun.
Too much
this
fun,
weekend, and we needed to recover. So, yes, shout out to the Reality Gays. We love you guys, Maddie and Poodle. Shout out to everyone who we ran into this weekend, and shout out to our Instagram. Also, shout out to the Patreon.
Guys.
Okay, you guys may have heard we have a Patreon, patreon.com/married to reality. And I say now there's no bad time to sign up, and there's not, because there's subscription billing, and you'll just get charged monthly every month on the day 30 days after you signed up. I don't know how it works. If you sign up on the 18th, you get charged that next month on the 18th. But I say there's no bad time to sign up. That doesn't mean there's no amazing time to sign up, because now would be an amazing time to sign up.
Is it because the Halloween special is coming up and we may or may not be in costume?
Teresa, it is because we may or may not be in costume. It is because we are going to do a Halloween special at the end of this month. And we may or may not be in costume, so there's only one way to find out. That's to sign up. And here's how much we love you guys. Whether you sign up at the Friends with Benefit level or the Family Affair level, you will find out whether or not we are in costume in our Halloween special. We may or may not be. Just a warning.
We may or may not, guys. But I'll tell you a little spoiler alert. We were brainstorming costumes. We may or may not have came up with something.
We're not going to put on a costume unless it's great. So
exactly.
we may or may not be
And
in
also,
costume.
John and I, we do this thing. We do budget costumes.
And couples costumes.
Couples costume and budget costumes. If it doesn't fit these two criterias, we may not be
We
in
may
costume.
not do it anyways. But we may be in costume. So
We may.
that's patreon.com/married-to-reality. Also, we may or may not be in costume, but there is things for sure that you will find on the Patreon. Things like The Single Life. Things like Love is Blind After the Altar. Things like a bonus episode of us covering Real Girlfriends in Paris. Things like a new bonus coming for the Family Affair level very shortly. So there's things you will find on the Patreon. And also, you may or may not find us in costume towards the end of this month. Patreon.com/married-to-reality. All right. Also, make sure you're following this podcast wherever you're listening to it. It's so easy to do. You look down, you smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hard as all the livestock we saw on this episode.
Quite a bit of livestock. We'll talk about it. But
I love livestock.
we love animals of all kinds.
Yeah, we do.
All right. So that is smashing it like it's as hot as the livestock. And last but not least, we love the reviews. We love when you guys leave us reviews. And if you leave us a 5-star review, we'll read it on this podcast. The one we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. I have a review I'd like to read.
Do it.
It's a new one from our friend Boba19861983.
Hello, Booba. I
All right.
hope that's not your phone number or I'm going to be calling you.
It's a lot more difficult than 1-800-IMMIGRATION. But maybe it's 1986, 1983. One of those, I think, is a good Taylor Swift album. I don't know. Anyways, that's not what's important. What's important is this review. 5 stars, titled A Winning Duo.
Ooh, love it.
1986, 1983 may be a winning duo. If you had a child born in 86 and a child born in 83, it's a winning duo. Mm-hmm. Having kids 3 years apart, that's nice. Anyways, a winning duo.
You are really going deep
Talking
sometimes.
about us, not talking about birthdays over here. A winning duo, 5 stars. These two have great banter, great recaps, and a great podcast. What else could you want? Truly a winning duo.
I love that.
I love this review for so many reasons. First of all, it's 5 stars. Amazing.
Love it, love it.
Second of all, very nice. Mm-hmm. Third of all, and here's just the writer in me that appreciates this, the rule of 3s. Bobo hit us with great banter, great recaps, great podcast. I love the rule. And then she comes back. There's a callback.
Yes, I
a
love
winning
the
duo.
callback.
Truly
I
a
love
winning
the
duo. Just
callback.
well written, Boba. I don't know what you do
Yeah.
with your life, but you should write more reviews like this.
Beautiful review. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And-
Boba.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Boba. How about we do a little 90-day by the way before we get into the thick of this thing?
Sure, you have something good.
I got a couple quickies.
Okay.
All right. I like to keep our friends updated. I like to keep you informed. So a couple quickies.
Do a quickie.
Number 1, we're getting ready to see more of Jenny's daughter, Tina, I think, right? She's going to come visit.
She's supposed to.
Okay. So a fun fact I learned about her. She is a bit of a YouTube personality, Teresa.
She is?
She's got a YouTube channel.
Is it because of her mom?
I don't know. It's been around for a few years now. She's got almost 3,000 subscribers.
Nice.
Which is pretty good. And it's a lot of makeup tutorials. Mm-hmm. She's quite the makeup aficionado. Some other content there too, something more down our alley. Video of her and her wife renovating an RV.
Nice.
And then also some travel vlog stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think this is pretty cool. I think, we're fans of Christina. We're fans of her. And it's nice to see her doing her own thing.
Nice.
Getting
yeah.
a little love on her own terms. She's also got an Etsy, I should mention. If we're
What's
plugging.
on her Etsy?
Well, glad you asked. Home decor.
Okay.
Questionable home decor, I would say. Nothing that would go in this home. But in some home, I'm sure it would belong in. Also, foot scrub.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't get it either. It's a bunch of 10 different home decor options and then foot scrub. Jenny looks like someone who could use foot scrub or does use foot scrub, perhaps.
Okay.
So maybe that's how Christina got into it for mom's sake. But I don't know if it's a homemade foot scrub, if she's buying and reselling. But check out her Etsy. First of all, I should shout out her YouTube. Blend It Boo is her YouTube.
Blended Boo.
Blend It Boo. I think blend,
okay.
like a makeup blend, right?
Oh, how do you know?
Because I hear you talk about it all the time. You've worked on your blending throughout all of quarantine.
That's very true.
Yes.
That's very true.
Blend It True. Blend It Boo. And her Etsy, She's So DIY.
Okay.
Do it yourself, I think. She's So DIY. So shout out to Christina for that. She's got that YouTube. She's got the Etsy. Give it a look if you're interested. We may see more of her this season. But until then, if you want to get your Christina fix, check it out, YouTube and Etsy. She's all over the place.
All right.
All right.
What's your number 2?
Number 2. Okay. A week or so ago, I did a by the way on Kim's ex, who was in prison for murder.
Yes.
All right. Turns out Kim has a bit of a criminal record herself.
Oh, I've seen that.
You've seen this?
Some of our friends sent it to us.
Had a few people send it in. I don't have the names, but shout out to all you guys. You know who you are. Thank you for sending it in. Turns out Kim, yes, got in trouble with the law as well. Not as bad. She didn't murder anyone. Okay. But she was arrested and pled guilty to a felony charge of a forged check.
Yeah, but it was like $700. Why would you?
$887, Teresa.
Okay. Why?
Why that's rent. That's maybe she needed to pay her rent. And
that's sad.
it is sad. It was back in 2003, so almost 20 years ago. So
Wasn't it the time that she was pen paling with this dude? Maybe she was sending him some money and was running low.
I think it's a similar time period.
Or maybe he was like,
wrong.
babe, this is legit. Try it out, make some money.
Yeah, I don't know how.
She was just being naive.
I don't know how she.
I don't know.
ended up.
I'm just speculating.
She's definitely naive.
Don't listen to me.
She's definitely naive.
Very naive.
Guilty of that for sure. She was sentenced to a 2-year suspended sentence.
What does it mean?
Suspended sentence.
Yeah.
She was sentenced to 2 years in prison, and then the judge suspends it. You don't have to serve that time if you follow up and do what else is required of you, which was, I think, to pay back the forged amount. So she paid back that $887 and kept her ass out of jail. And look at her now.
Oh, boy. All right.
All right. That's by the way. Just keeping you guys updated on our castmates here.
Nice.
All right. Should we do it?
Good.
Should we do it? Should we talk about this episode?
Let's do it. And since you talked about Kim, let's continue that.
I think we should continue Kim, but let's roll into the intro for a little bit here. Sunday night, 90 Day Fiancé, Season 7, Episode 8, Happily Ever After, question mark. And there's no question who we're going to start with because we just said it.
I just said it. It was a great lead-in.
I know it was. And then I took your lead-in and I spun it into my own lead-in because I said there's no question who we're going to start with because you just said it.
All right, you thief.
Don't question me.
You thief.
All right. 1-800-IMMIGRATION. Call it. All right. Kim and Usman.
All right. So it's the day today. They're going to see mom. But first, let's do a little some shopping. Let's do some light shopping.
Let's also
shopping.
Livestock shopping.
Yeah, like livestock.
Let's stock up on some livestock.
Yeah,
let's
livestock.
Let's livestock up.
I love that.
That's pretty good.
Let's livestock up.
Or just livestock up. That's like almost as good as got milk.
That's really good.
Livestock up would be the tagline of a livestock mall like this one.
We should save it and sell it to people.
Yeah, let's edit that out.
Copyright, guys. Copyright.
So we can't forget that Usman had previously met with his mom on the episode before, told her his grand plans. She was less than thrilled to hear about this.
Yes. But Usman's not going to tell Kimberly because he doesn't want to spoil the day.
Yeah, so you don't spoil the day, spoiled milk. The livestock, a cow could smooth anything over.
I wish you gave my parents a piece of a livestock. My mom always wanted a sheep.
I give her a bag of Starbucks seasonal blend and a bomboniera. Is that not enough?
My mom always talks about having a decorational sheep.
Oh, I could do decor. I just don't think I could give her the real thing.
Oh, that's what I meant. But like she would be used for decor, like walking around the backyard so we can look at her and pet her.
Got it. All right. Well, something to consider for sure. So they go to this market and Kim is going to buy this peace offering, this cow. Kim is like you, Teresa. She loved the cow market. She's like, I could spend the whole day here just petting these cows.
All right. I said smash like it's as hot as that. I didn't love it though. I didn't love the conditions these poor cows were living in.
This is not organic, I'm going to say.
Definitely
This is
not.
not organic.
I mean, I know that's how it is in Nigeria. I think it was okay for what they do. But I just loved when cows run free and they're living their best lives right before we make burgers out of them.
Exactly.
That's the circle of life, bitches.
So they're there. They start talking to this like used cow salesman. That's the way I perceived him.
I mean, for sure, because he was there to make money.
All right, we can do 500. What will it take for me to get you on this cow today?
Well, first he was making compliments like, oh yeah, I'm very impressed with this white lady over here coming to the cow market. Yeah, she probably has some money. Money.
Moolah. I hope she doesn't give me a bad check. I think I've read an article or two about her. But they find this cow, $500. I think, come on, they were trying to upsell Kim over here. It's like, we don't need all the bells and whistles. Cows do have bells sometimes.
They do.
We don't need all the bells and whistles. Just give me your basic cow and let's get out of here.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
My friend, you know her, Mishka.
Sure.
Her boyfriend worked in the Alps, in the Austrian Alps.
Yeah.
And it's like a really secluded, nice resort that you need to take a gondola to get to. It's like on the top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So she spends a lot of time there with him, works from home, right? And she always sends me a video of these cows with bells just like hanging around the mountains. And they're so loud. And my friend is telling me, they do this all the time and they spend certain amount of time up the mountain before they go back down. And they're free. They're just living their best life, but very loud.
You know how we listen to our sleep sounds? We listen to our nature? I wouldn't mind this. I wonder if
I know. You should find it.
I don't want to say it too loud, but I wonder if Alexa could play cowbells.
I think we would get annoyed.
I think it'd be beautiful.
I think
and
it
then a
would
couple
be
moves in the back.
Oh yeah, a little bit of some moves. I would think it would be
Set
beautiful.
The mood.
I think it would be beautiful if it's like a sun is going down and the field bugs and animals are getting ready to go to sleep and the cows are heading back to wherever they sleep, and then you hear a bell or two
in the distance. Let's try it tonight. Let's see if we can find something.
All right.
All right. So they settle on this cow. They get a deal on it. It's got free delivery. Even it's like Cowvana. Or this is like they're going to send the cow. Cowvana. They're sending the
cow vending machine.
Yeah, they're going to send the cow to the house. It's beautiful. Kim is ready to meet the family now. She's got the cow. She's nervous, but it's okay. She's going to get that blessing.
Yes, she's got the cow. She did her ET makeover.
Okay. I don't know what's going on, but I thought she looked good.
I thought she looked better than normal.
I thought she looked good wearing it.
I thought she looked good too.
It was dazzly.
Yeah.
A little bit of a vibe going on. But my main concern was she's worried about what she's going to wear. She knows she has to wear the head wrap, right? But she's picking out tops. You're not going to go with a vintage Soulja Boy tee? You're not going to put on the Soulja Boy t-shirt? You're not going to show your love for this mother's son? This is the most important time to wear that t-shirt. To be like, look how much I love him. I'm wearing him on this shirt right now. But no, she looks normal. For once, she actually looks normal.
For once, she looks normal. But everyone, she looks normal, but the rest of the family doesn't look too happy to see her there.
No, and I loved how Soulja Boy positioned it like, so these are the decision makers. Like if it was like a bit, this is the C-suite. So give them your best presentation. Yeah, they're staring daggers at her, and the whole time Kim's just like, where the hell is that cow? That cow should have been here by now.
Yeah, and so Usman's kind of telling the family the story of, yes, she fell in love with me. We both love each other. Everyone's eyes are like spinning in their heads, right? Because it's the mom, it's a bunch of brothers, bunch of sisters.
They have heard this before. And even mom goes, he married a white woman before, and there was an issue that separated them.
And mom wants him to have kids with someone from their village while she's still alive.
Yes. And I love how mom's like, she's she's just too old. And Soulja Boy's brother's like, she is old indeed. Just, it was like such a polite way to be like, you're old. You are indeed.
And
She's
he's
old
like,
indeed.
I don't get what he sees in all these women.
You know exactly what is being seen in all these
The
women.
GC.
The green card, worldwide fame, another season,
Yeah.
PlayStation 9, iPhone 24. The Christmas list goes on. Just open up a newspaper circular around Christmas time, and that's exactly what there is.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kim is like sitting there not saying anything, kind of smiling. And then we hear the knock.
Saved by the knock.
Saved by the knock. She's like, yes.
I wish you heard the
my
cow
cow's
bells.
here.
I wish you heard the bells in the distance, like coming closer and
I don't
closer.
think
It's
this cow was wearing a bell.
I was not wearing a bell, but this was a beautiful cow.
It's a beautiful cow.
It's a swell cow.
It's a bull.
There's a bull, beautiful sir, waiting outside the door. And you think, this is it. This is it. This is going to turn the tides in Kim's favor.
Everyone looks at it as like, okay, this is a bribe.
What? How?
Well, because BGL bought them a sheep or something like that.
Yeah. This
So
is a
now they're
beautiful
like,
cow.
it is a beautiful cow. I'm sure they'll keep it, but it's a bribe. It is a bribe. Come on.
So.
Listen, if she knew that mom and her will be besties or there is a possibility, she would bring a bottle of wine and some chocolates and just chat it out. The fact that she went out of her way to buy a cow was to wow them.
I disagree. It was to wow them, but it
was to cow them.
was to cow them. But save the puns. Let me do the puns, okay?
No, I'm going to do some puns.
Let me do the puns. Okay? This was, I don't think it was a bribe. I think, as far as Kim understood, this is when you go to someone's house in Nigeria, you bring a cow. And I think it's the same way as when I show up to your family, I bring presents. She thought this was what you deliver, not just on an everyday basis, but when you're going in to show your love and that you want to get married, this is what you do. She didn't think of it as a bribe. She thought of it as a customary act.
Well, yes, true. In Czech, we always bring presents when we go somewhere.
Right. It's no bribe. When I met your parents for the first time and I gave them gifts, it wasn't a bribe. It was like, oh, here. Thank you for
Christmas.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Still, whenever we go places, we bring a bottle of wine.
Of course, we do, because that's what you do, right? But I feel like she could have bought a goat. She went with a cow. She went with a big animal.
I don't think it was her idea. I think Soulja Boy said, here's what we need to get.
Well, but the sad part was that cow was the price of her rent or her
That is
paycheck.
sad. Yeah.
So,
well, doesn't look too good for Kimberly or the cow, but
yeah.
We'll have to wait.
I don't think she was bribing, but I think she thought that the cow will smooth things over. They'll be like, wow, look at her bringing a cow. Sure, marry my son.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. She still loves him, and apparently he loves her. So it's not
apparently.
no bribe. They're two people in love.
Sure.
Let it happen. All right. Let's do it. Let's talk about our next couple, Libby and Andrei, who are
a bunch of morons.
Carbo loading before the big immigration interview.
Yes. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how real this is. Because yes, it can happen. You can go to the immigration office and for the second interview and they may request more evidence, right? But they live together. They have a house together. They have cars together. They have a child together. I don't see how you show more proof.
Well, they're morons. We've established that, right?
True.
Here's my question. Father Stefan, he's going to watch Ellie while they go to the interview. Is Ellie not allowed to go? Because I almost feel
she is. I think people do bring kids.
Forget bringing a cow, right? I feel like you bring the kid. That's the bribe. Show the officer the kid and be like, look at this family. You want to tear this family apart? No. Approve me. But they leave Ellie at home.
Yeah, I think you can bring the kid.
Yeah, you can't just assume someone can find a babysitter or something, right?
Yeah.
You should be able to bring the kid.
I think you can.
So them not bringing the kid is almost like, well, maybe this is fake.
I wonder if, because like when you do the paperwork, you do it all. You show where you work and how much money you make and if you file for your taxes, etc., right?
Yeah.
Andrei wasn't working for a while. He was a stay-at-home dad.
True.
Which doesn't look too good as if you're a man.
Well, he could only have started working as soon as he got his papers. So
True.
who
But this
knows
is the second green card.
True.
So he should have been able to work for the past 2 years.
And he was working for Chuck for
a little bit, yeah. But what I'm saying is that maybe there are some inconsistencies that they might look at like, wait a minute, like, well, what are you doing? Like, you're not working, she's working, like, what's going on here?
Right.
But still, like, again, they have a house, they own things together. I would assume the car and the house is written in both of their names.
They also have 94 seasons of television
True.
that show them together. Although maybe that could backfire. Like, are you guys just together to be on TV? What's going on?
I feel like because they have a child, they really are together. But
I have zero question in my mind. They are a legitimate couple.
Oh, no, totally. But I'm saying, like, maybe they made a mistake in the paperwork. Like, yes, it happens. I just don't buy that it happened to them necessarily. I don't buy that they ask for more evidence because they have a lot. Unlike other people, unlike the Daniels and Mohammeds of the world, like they're a full-ass couple.
Well, okay. They go to the interview. And on the way, of course, you get the classic scene of them planning the answers to the questions. What's my favorite color? Purple. What's my favorite flower? Tulip. How basic am I? Very.
So basic.
That was my alternate open for you. Was my wife and co-host. Her favorite color is black. Her favorite flower is cactus.
Yes.
The one and only Teresa. You're the opposite of
black and
cactus. Oh, yellow.
yes, that's
Black
a
and
song.
yellow. Black and yellow.
I know.
Yeah,
What's
you're
your
the
favorite
opposite.
color? It's blue. You always say blue, but you
It's
don't wear
not.
blue.
We
But it's the thing.
talked-
That's your answer.
No, it was my answer when I was an 11-year-old boy.
So what's your answer now?
I don't have a favorite color.
You have to have one.
Who
Pick.
has a favorite color?
I just said I do. I
Okay,
think
you do.
You okay? I'm gonna just base it off of our apartment.
Yeah.
It's gray and yellow.
No, it's black and yellow. I
Oh,
would
here
say.
we go.
What's-
Besties.
What's my favorite flower?
Cactus.
Almond.
What? Almost not a flower.
You just leave the jokes to me today, Teresa.
Oh, damn, you're good. I missed that.
Okay.
But I feel like your favorite plant is a cactus because we try to keep them alive together.
Yeah. Okay. They get to the office. Now Andrei is going to put the tie on. Like in the car, he's trying to put his tie on. This is so dumb. You put the tie on before you get in the car when you're at home looking in a mirror, and then you just boop the tie. You flop the tie over the seatbelt.
You don't put a tie on unless you wear it for work. I feel like this kind of dress up game is like, come on.
No,
like,
I'm glad.
You should look nice, but you should look daily nice.
Is it too suspicious?
Yes.
How hard he went?
Yeah, unless you go
Interesting.
in and you say in your paper state he's a lawyer, something he would probably
Right.
wear to work, right?
No, I think it's cute. I think, okay, he's a construction worker and he's going for this big interview. He's dressing nice. I wouldn't hold it against him.
Yeah.
I like it more than
his shirt and tie is gross.
Okay, well, did you see when he was giving his interview to the producer? His tie was so short, it was like at his nips. The tie was nipple height. It was not tied well.
It was shiny and purple.
Well, it's Libby's favorite color.
Yeah, no.
Not her lucky color, apparently.
Too much.
So they do the interview, they come out, they seem upset. Something seems to have bothered them. Apparently they got grilled and Andrei did not get the immediate approval during the interview.
Well, what it means is that they need to submit, if this is real, they need to submit more evidence, which I don't know what else they can submit.
Who knows? We don't know what they submitted in the first place.
That's true.
There could be
They might
everything.
have missed
there could have been
something,
everything they're not the sharpest tools in the shed, Teresa.
Definitely not.
So they could have missed everything.
Yeah. So in between all these F-bombs that Andrei is dropping, you can kind of pick up the conversation a little bit.
Yes.
He's just pissed, and apparently it's because Libby was giggling and she messed up one of the answers.
So, right. This is the shit you should have been going over. Not what's our favorite sex position. When do we meet is probably a good question to review.
And Libby was like, well, I didn't know if it was like the phone or in real life. Come on. Like, I don't even know when I know more or less we swiped right.
December.
At the end of December, I was flying to Vegas for the holidays. But I know we met on January 7th.
Now you do. Oh, could you imagine if we met on January 6th?
Oh my gosh.
I just realized because we did a whole Patreon thing, but
Yeah.
during one of our Patreon episodes, we quizzed each other, and you were wrong, and I was right about the day we met.
I said January 8th because 8 is my favorite number, and sometimes I get confused. But
we were almost January 6th.
Oh my gosh.
Lovebirds.
Yeah. January 7th, it was a Thursday. I remember that.
Okay.
Because I remember I
do.
texted you on Wednesday. I texted you January 6th. Hey, if you want to grab a drink. And you said no because you, guys, he was on another date. Look at this slut.
I do remember because I had been dating this girl for like a month or two. Was not into her. I was just.
But you went on a date.
Well, I had no one else to hang out with at the time. And I remember us planning to get together
on Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
And then you randomly were like, hey, I'm not busy tonight if you're free. I'm like, what do you...
Yeah, I was just
play a little hard to
be
get, Teresa.
Spontaneous. I was at so I had like a few jobs. I was after one of my jobs where I was a hostess.
Yeah, emphasis on the hoe.
And I just finished the shift. I was having a drink there just by myself. And I'm like, I might as well hang out with this dude.
A little drunk text there. The truth comes out.
It wasn't one drink, but I was like, well, I can either go home and do nothing.
Emphasis on the hoe.
Or I can ask this guy if he wants to grab a drink. And listen, I'm very spontaneous when it comes to certain things.
Yes.
And then you were like, no, sorry, I'm busy. Later, I found out he was dating someone else.
Yeah, and that was the last date I went on. Oh, I think, it was the last date I went on. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
I met you.
You slut.
I met you, and then I went on one more date with her because I had already scheduled it. But I remember.
Such a slut.
I remember the date. I remember the date I went on with her that night. And the whole time I was just thinking about, oh man, I wish I could meet Teresa.
But I think it's good you didn't, because if you caved in, our date would have been on January 6th.
Yeah.
So
well, at least something.
Let's not take away from America, from the sad day.
Yeah. All right. So they didn't get approved. Libya's spiraling. She's like, we're going to have to live in Moldova. Ellie won't know her family. What's going to happen? And it's kind of where it ends. I mean, Andrei, as we said, is freaking out because he thinks maybe the family sabotaged them. He's like,
they just Googled the 1-800 immigration and they called.
You get the hotline, 1-800 immigration.
I'm pretty sure if you call 1-800 immigration, some like a low budget
it's
lawyer will pick up.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. I think that's a good place to take a break.
I literally died laughing so many times. I'm like, this is golden.
Should we take a break here?
Let's do it.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Jenny and Sumit. All right, we'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Oh, yeah, what's going on over there?
I was just going to put a little spin on your name.
So you put enough spin without trying. I don't think you need to put anything extra.
Okay. You correct me if I'm wrong. Someone told me, I think someone from work, because when I was talking about you, I said John. Right? Mm-hmm. John. And then someone was like, oh, my husband's name is John. And I was like, no, my husband's name is Jonathan. Yeah. And they say, oh, it's the way you pronounce it.
Say it.
I said John and Jonathan.
Okay.
They say John, apparently, how you pronounce it as there is an H. I'm like, how do you even know?
That person needs to stop talking. Yeah,
right?
That doesn't make any sense.
Right?
It's a silent H.
Right? She's like, yeah, you make it sound like it's a John with an H.
Huh? All right.
Am I right?
Yeah, I don't like this person.
Am I right?
I don't like this person. But
luckily, I don't remember who it was.
What are we going to do? Yeah, you don't even remember her name. Forget about how to pronounce it. All right, let's talk about Jenny and Sumit.
Okay, this one was a good one because they're leaving the honeymoon, right? But before they left, Jenny wanted to try what they learned in the Kama Sutra class.
Oh, boy.
And
oh, boy.
As Sumit put it so delicately, she broke his stomach.
Oh, boy.
Which I was like, what did she do? Naval displacement, and now he's leaking.
Oh.
He's leaking his diarrhea.
No. Well, they're
he
both
probably was wearing one of Jenny's diapers, so they good.
Yeah, I guess a little too hard on that cowgirl helper, and they had to call a doctor. My stomach is getting upset talking about
I'm like,
this.
what do you call a doctor? Tell them what?
my navel is leaking. What do you do? I can imagine sometimes when I'm picking out the fuzz in my belly button, I get nervous that like, oh, what if I untie it?
How? You cannot untie your belly button. It's been tied for 30 plus years. I'm making you sound younger.
No, you're accurate. 30 plus. Someone who's 50 could be 30 plus.
Sure.
You know?
Sure, guys.
We-
You cannot, there is no way you can untie your belly button.
I know we have a lot of doctors and nurses and smart people who listen to this podcast, and I don't want to Google because I will throw up. How is the umbilical cord tied? Like,
So,
is it with like a nautical knot? Is it like singed?
I think they put this little clip on the baby. That and it kind of like
I can't tell you you're wrong because I don't know.
I'm pretty sure like a tie or a clip or like a
But then eventually
like a
take it off
ponytail
once it
thingy.
heals.
Yes, so you cannot just untie it.
Right.
It's not a fucking
healed
braid that you
healed-
unbraid before you go to bed.
It's healed together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Believe me, if you were born 2 days ago, would be a little concerned about you untying your belly button.
Yeah.
But I think you're good.
My belly button's kind of sensitive as yours too.
A little bit, yeah. It's a weird thing. I
It's a
hate
weird
it.
Yeah. Sumit's this is very sensitive and it's leaking now. And I think Jenny just taught him a lesson. It was like, last time you take me to a sex class. You want to try out some of these moves? All right, you're gonna regret it.
Well, and then somebody's like, well, I'm not saying you're too fat. I'm saying I'm too skinny.
Yeah. What was that about?
Because Jenny's like, you're calling me fat. He's like, no, I'm
Just
calling
imagine. And guys, if you're eating, stop. Imagine how hard Jenny had to bang Sumit to rupture his belly. Like, imagine just the power thrusts that were occurring for his belly button to burst.
Wait, is that what happened?
It got displaced. It got pushed or torn or...
His belly button?
Yeah, that's what a navel is.
Oh, I thought navel is like a little bump that you have in your body.
No. If it's an Audi, maybe he has an Audi. Not an A4, a belly button.
I'm like getting really nauseous.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't think about it.
I bet you he has an Audi belly button, and she was maybe she was using his belly button for stimulation.
Ew.
And then she
it's not a clitoris.
Hello, we're having fun here. And then she unraveled it.
Ew, I can't. I have to move on.
Let's move on.
All right, so okay, they're driving back, right?
Yeah.
And Sumit's missing his mom.
Mm-hmm.
The mom that said, I don't ever want to see you again.
Well, he wants to check on them and make sure that the relationship is repairable.
Yes, he's a mama's boy.
I agree, but I disagree with Jenny because she's basically trying to keep him from having a relationship with his parents, which I don't think is cool. She's like, no, we don't need to do that. Come on.
Well, I just think she's upset because it's not like the parents are like, oh, we don't love your wife, we don't get along, but as long as she makes you happy, okay.
Right.
They forbid him to marry her or even be with her. And then mom was like losing her shit saying over her dead body, and then she disowned him.
I don't think let's not be hyperbolic. I don't think they were trying to break up the relationship until Sumit was like, I'm gonna marry her. And Sadhna was like, over my dead body.
Well, you know why? Because she was expecting her to be shipped back home because her visa were gonna expire.
Because I was gonna say, like, they kind of had a decent relationship. They were doing the yoga, they were doing the nose noodles.
Yeah, she was just looking at the clock, tick-tock, your visa is about to run out and you gotta go back.
Okay, because if they could just maintain that level of decency with each other, it's not that bad. Jenny shouldn't be trying to separate Sumit from his parents. I thought she went a little too hard.
Maybe. But let's talk about Jenny going hard.
At the appliance store?
At the appliance store.
Come on, this turns me on.
Jesus. All right.
I'll go reverse cowgirl or whatever it is on this appliance store. You know I love an appliance store.
I do too. They have to go back to the old house, but it needs some upgrading, right?
Yeah.
And this went from let's buy something because
a cupboard. They wanted a cupboard to store their pots and pans and cans.
And that turned into a whole new discussion about Jenny and her cleaning skills.
Which is, there's a lot to be discussed and a lot to be desired when it comes to her cleaning skills.
Yes, I love cleaning. I'm really good at it. And you love that I love it. And
Sure
I'm
do.
good at it.
Sure do.
I cannot take a mess. I cannot take any mess, right?
All the
Apparently,
above.
Jenny is like, yeah, like, I already cleaned the house. And somebody's like, really?
Well,
Really? You accepting it?
we've all seen that you don't. We've all seen that you don't, Jenny. But I thought, hey, she's trying. She wants to get a vacuum. And that would help her, that'd keep her from having to sweep. And come on, she's a woman of a certain age. She can't be bending over sweeping every day.
That vacuum my mom got for Christmas in 2001.
Okay.
That was that model.
All right.
Just get it,
Jeez, stop
Summit.
vacuum shaming.
I'm gonna
Stop
vacuum
suck
shit.
shaming.
That vacuum is so old. Get something newer. But
Well, no.
Okay.
Sumit was like, no, you gotta sweep. It's good exercise. Like, imagine if she requested a Roomba. His head would explode. She'd be like, absolutely not. You stand up on those
Well, this
bunions
is the
and
thing.
sweep.
He was trying to sell the broom to her so high. He's like, why don't you just broom? We're just like sweep it into a corner. You exercise a little bit. Don't spend any money. Keep it clean. This is what we do. Because apparently he believes that even if Jenny got a vacuum, the house would still be dirty.
Well, I hate this thinking in the future when you don't know. Give her the vacuum, and then if she doesn't vacuum, then all right, we're selling this thing. We're getting rid of it
Yeah.
because don't just assume that she's not going to do anything with it.
Well, Summit thinks that if at least she can get the house cleaned Indian style, not American, Indian style, Mom may or may not accept her.
I think Mom will accept her if the house is clean, no matter how it got
Yeah.
clean. Plus, think about all the energy she'll have for cowgirl helper if she's not sweeping all day.
Well, speaking of a helper, Jenny wants a helper because
True.
Sadna has a helper. Summit is like, no. You gotta do it yourself. You gotta learn. You
I
gotta get those steps in.
I say get her the vacuum. Get her the vacuum.
Yeah, get something. Either a helper or a vacuum.
Especially
Come
if you're not happy with the level of cleanliness, then just saying, here, do the same thing, that's not going to change anything.
Yeah.
At least get her the vacuum, get her excited about cleaning, right?
Yeah. Just do a cleaning party. That's the best.
Do a cleaning party. All right. Next.
All right. Oh, man, it's getting late. We have to do it. Angela and
Michael!
our neighbors are gonna hate us.
It's okay. It's not quiet hours yet.
All right. So it's not quiet hours here. It's not quiet hours in Nigeria because we just woke up.
The irony, it's the morning after Angela was just taking apart Michael's car. And the irony of the bag that was sitting next to the bed that said good vibes on it.
I didn't see.
I was like, good vibes. Angela has never had good vibes since we met her.
Well, she's having her own good vibes. But she's like, I feel calm. I feel in peace. This is over. I booked a flight. I changed my flight. I'm leaving tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And when I get home, I'm going to file for divorce and pull that visa.
That's her master plan.
That's the plan.
But then the ladies are gonna hit the gym.
And what? What is that I see? What? Behind the good vibes? Yeah, and a bottle of water.
She's drinking water. I know.
What? Okay, we have to tell our friends what happened at the gas station.
When we were driving back from Tampa to see our friends, reality gays.
Yes, we stopped at a gas station and very friendly, very chatty.
Very chatty lady was.
Sales cashier.
Yeah, she was like, guys, the traffic I heard is horrendous. We were like,
We're
horrendous.
like, yeah, we were in it for an hour. She's like, the bathroom is right here. I'm sure you guys need it. And we did, so we went. And we're sort of addicted to Celsius now. So
Celsius Energy, not a sponsor. It's probably not good for you either, but we.
not going to be a sponsor
Drink it.
now.
What do you mean?
You're like, Celsius Energy. Not good for you probably, but we drink it.
Well, that means it's good because it's like, it's so bad for you that it's so good.
It does work. It works for me more
Really?
than Red Bull does.
It doesn't, but I like the taste.
Okay, so we grab a couple of Celsius, and it's funny because the guy in front of us checking out had a Celsius.
Ah.
And so I was like, oh, she's probably going to think, like, what's going on with all the Celsius? And we get up there, we put the drinks down. She goes, what's up with all the Celsius? Like, she's like, well, everyone's drinking this. And I was like, nah, yeah, it's all the rage now. It's energy drinks. It tastes pretty good, different flavors.
It's supposed to be healthier.
It's supposed to be healthier. And she goes, you'll have to correct me because I was like dying. I don't even really remember what she said, but something to the effect of, yeah, someone made me try it and I didn't like it. It tasted too much like water.
Yeah.
And I don't drink water.
She's like, water, ew. We're like, oh.
You don't drink water?
Oh, I was like, okay, Angela, I mean,
Darlene.
yeah.
It was too funny. And we're like, she doesn't drink water, huh? All right. And
then we had this discussion in the car. I was telling John, I don't think a lot of people in America, and I'm not saying like majority, no, but a lot of people, more than you think, don't drink water.
Right.
They drink something. They drink Coke, they drink coffee, they drink Celsius, I guess. They drink Monster.
Iced tea.
But a lot of people don't drink water.
Sure.
Like you go to a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
I always ask for water. A lot of people would ask for Coke or for iced tea or for something else but water.
I mean, I'll admit it. I didn't really get into water until 23 years old.
About?
24.
What did you drink before?
Everything you just listed. Snapple, soda.
Ew.
Yeah, juice. I didn't really start drinking water until like after college. And then I was like, oh. And it's probably all with the health movement of, oh, you got to drink this much water.
Yeah, you have to drink water.
But not everyone's into that.
I mean, yeah, when I was growing up, it was very popular to put syrup into water. Like these, like, so the water.
Yeah, High C, Capri Sun, Arizona iced teas, Sobeys. Like, there was so much to drink. I wasn't drinking water.
Yeah, I wasn't either, I guess. I ended up drinking water when I went to a sporty middle school.
Okay.
So I did.
I know you did. You also went to breathing camp. So
I sure did.
How
And so
sporty
I
was it?
had to drink water. It was required
Okay. But
to have a water bottle.
Darlene at the gas station was probably 60, right?
Yeah, at least.
And so if we're going off my math, drinking water didn't get cool until, I don't know, what, 20 years ago or however, 15. And so she was probably already 40, 50. She's not going to change her habits then and be like, I'm going to start drinking water now.
No, but like, okay, when you're thirsty AF, all I want is water. Like, I don't want to drink anything else when I'm thirsty.
I know, but marketing will lead you to believe, oh, you're thirsty? Grab a Gatorade.
No, but I do only drink Gatorade or all these high, what do you call it?
I don't know what you're going to say.
High.
Like energy drinks
Yeah.
or
Not
energy
those,
drinks, sports drinks.
Yeah, those things that hydrate you.
Yeah.
I only drink it when I feel super dehydrated. So I have a glass of that. And I keep drinking water, but I just feel like electrolytes, high electrolytes.
Uh-huh.
I always feel like, all right, like let me drink a glass of it, right? So I like boost it up, but I keep chugging water because that doesn't satisfy me.
I'm with you. All right. Anyways, enough about that. Angela's at the gym with Renee.
Working out,
I know.
drinking water, jeez.
Feeling a little sorry for what she did to Michael's car, but still thinks he's being shady and still thinks he's talking to other women.
So here's the thing about Angela that I kind of realized maybe she's getting older, she's getting more sentimental, or maybe she's just being more emotional. But when she talks to the cameras about Michael and about everything, she doesn't sound like a total bitch. She just sounds like someone who's hurt, someone whose husband is doing whatever she doesn't like. And she's like, yeah, I feel bad. I ruined his car. And I don't want to get a divorce. I don't want to pull the visa, right? She says this to the camera. She gets emotional. And then she faces Michael or she faces someone. And she becomes this, as she says, bad bitch. She gets aggressive. You will never solve anything if you cannot have a normal conversation or show your emotions as you do to the cameras.
I think she has moments of clarity. I think when you are away from someone, you always miss them more. When you're with them, it's easier to take them for granted. So when she's away from Michael, she's like, oh, this is life without Michael. I kind of miss him. Maybe I'm making the wrong move leaving. And then she gets together with him and she's like, what an ass clown. This guy. I forgot how much of an ass clown he was. And that sets her off.
Yeah, but Renee thinks that she should not leave Nigeria without talking to Michael.
Yeah, and I also think Renee's like, we just got here. Like, you think I'm getting back on a plane? It hasn't been 24 hours.
Yes.
Right? So no way we're leaving. So she ends up kind of talking Angela into sticking around to at least go talk to Michael. You're going to regret it if you get on a plane without speaking to Michael. So go have a conversation.
So Angela gets ready. And for Angela, she looks decent. A backless jumpsuit and her fake high pony makeup. Like, she looks better than in most cases.
Putting a little jiggle in that wiggle, as she
but
says.
she's like, I want him to see me, but I don't want to show him too much, so he doesn't want it. It's like, what? You just literally, those two don't go together.
She doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes.
She does not.
Here's something else that doesn't make sense. She goes to meet Michael at the bar.
Yes.
And then we get some weird time lapse.
When she went to the bar, it was light out.
And then when Michael shows up,
it looks like it's like 6 hours later.
It's like midnight. And then I was like, I know what happened.
What?
He walked out to his car to get in to drive to the bar. And he was like, shit. And he had to put his car back together. So it probably took him like 4 hours to put everything back together before he could drive to the bar.
Yes. But he arrived. She's drinking already. And
3 shots of vodka and a Heineken.
Huh? For who?
So
what? Where?
Awkward.
What
it's
order
like
is that?
Married.
What order is that? She's
I
gonna.
know. I mean, he was drinking the Heineken, so
That was nice of her to order him something, but
guess.
she's just gonna 3 shots of vodka. Hilarious! I love it. I love the energy.
But the energy. She's pissed.
Oh,
She's
immediately.
like standing up. I'm like, she's gonna hit him again. This is gonna be bad.
Just take that bitch down, or I'm getting on that plane. Just wanting Michael to take his social media down.
She's like, show me the whole phone. Did you hear that?
Yeah, you got bitches in your phone. Which is like,
show me the whole phone.
and she's like, put it in my pocketbook, which is it was this weird like magic trick. Put your phone in his pocketbook and watch it disappear. I was like, what is happening?
He kept grabbing. Yeah, I didn't get it. He kept grabbing her pocketbook, and I'm like, is he gonna like walk away because she didn't send him the money, so he's just gonna grab it himself?
It was
What's going on?
So confusing because it's give me the phone, and then it was take the phone, and then he takes his phone back, and she gets up and she leaves, and she's like, "That's it.
She stormed off.
I'm done." And that was the whole thing.
That was the whole thing. Yeah.
Short and sweet. And she's drinking water now. So
well,
good for
water
her.
and vodka.
Good for her. All right. We got to talk about it.
Shaeeda. We called it before.
Here we go
Bill and
again.
Shaeeda and the doctor.
Dr.
It's
Jim.
going to be the new storyline, the 3 of them.
Dr. Jim. Okay. I have some questions and maybe you can provide answers.
Okay.
So they go to Dr. Jim's place
Again.
and they're going to see how many eggs Shaeeda has. The test results have come in. But this doctor's office, from what I could tell, they're selling products in the waiting room. There was shelves with products on it that they were selling.
I didn't see that, but okay.
Is this a thing? The only time I've ever seen products for sale is like salons. And then if you go to the eye doctors, there sometimes
Yeah,
they'll
eye
sell
doctors
things.
do.
What was that? You've never gone to a gynecologist or something and they're selling products. Dermatologist maybe, but
Yeah, I just went recently and they didn't sell me anything. They gave me a prescription
yeah.
that they sent it to the pharmacy.
Yeah.
They don't sell anything.
And on the door, because I was like very curious, so I was leaning in. The door they walked through said like checkout. I'm like, huh? What are we selling here?
Maybe it's like one of the places with multiple doctors.
Okay. But what are you selling at a... I guess it was a fertility clinic. Maybe they sell like vitamins and prenatal and...
I don't know.
Colin. All right. They see Dr. Jim and he's got some news.
All right. So basically, she doesn't have a lot of eggs.
Well, okay. I don't know if this is true. Well, that's true. But the actual terminology used was her ovarian reserve is low. And so I Googled this. Ovarian reserve, a term used to determine the capacity of the ovary to provide egg cells that are capable of fertilization, resulting in a healthy and successful pregnancy. So it's not 1 for 1. It's not like, ovarian reserve equals eggs, but it all
Goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand.
Because the doctor said, all right, at 40, and she's getting up there, you have a 5% chance to get pregnant during your ovulation, right?
That seems
That's very low. Very low. And
She
gets very emotional, and then she talks to the camera. She's like, I just feel like he just told me that I cannot have kids ever. It's like, no, that's not what he said.
Well, that may be
Take
her.
it easy.
That's her feeling.
Well, yeah, it is, but it's like, there is a chance.
DJ said, you're born with about 1 million eggs. You probably have
Many.
You probably have 2.5% of those left. So, yeah, you hear that and you go, I'm basically being told it's going to be pretty hard, nearly impossible.
But he didn't say that.
No, I know, but that's what you
He said,
hear.
all right, you have about 6 months. Try to bang it out. If not, come back. We can freeze your eggs. There are other things, artificial. Like, there are options. So let's not give up just yet.
When Dr. Jim was saying, like, bang it out for 6 months, see what happens. If looks could talk, Bilal's face was saying, shut your mouth, Jim. Who do you think's paying your bills, Jim? You better take that back, Jim.
Yeah, he does not.
He was not down
want to get the kid.
to
No,
try
I mean, get
ASAP.
Shaeeda a kid. Like, he was in the prenup. Come on. Like, come on. One baby. She's going to take care of it. She seems like someone who really wants it.
Just one baby. Everyone knows the rules. Except it's not just one baby. Bilal has children.
Well, yeah, but they're older. Like, come on.
Yeah.
If this is the one thing she
don't-
wants.
Don't talk someone into having a kid if they don't want to have a kid. That's the last
But
thing
it's
you
the
should.
thing. That's all she wants.
But Bilal, you want.
No, so she should have married him. He should have told her, like, I do not want to have kids. I do not.
I know.
He
but
didn't. He said, yeah, well, let's hang out for a little bit and see you later. But if you can't later, now is the time. And you said you would. So you need to wrap your mind around it. Otherwise, he just should have told her, like, I'm done having kids.
I agree with you. Bilal's going to probably not be the best dad if he doesn't want to be a dad. And that's not fair to
that's
Shaeeda
true.
or to the kid.
True.
So I don't see him being like, all right, I'm going to step up now. I know I didn't want it. He's going to be like, no, I don't want it. So you take care of it.
I feel like the rest of their segments is going to be
Dr.
them
Jim.
trying and talking to Dr. Jim and talking to the family, trying, arguing, Bill probably pulling out all the time, not
Hello.
trying. Yeah.
Here's the only way this storyline gets good. If Shaeeda gets pregnant. That's it. That's the
Yeah.
only way this gets good. If it's just like end of the season, well, we're still trying. It's like,
Yeah.
all right.
It's like Shipanka being
Celibate.
Celibate. It's like just bang someone.
Yeah. If we get an ultrasound and we see a little baby,
Yeah.
now the storyline's good.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right. Last? Is it last but not least?
Yes, last but not least, Jovi and Yara.
This was so dramatic.
So dramatic.
It was like pitch black in the kitchen. The microwave clock is blinking. There's a strange neon light glowing in the background.
It's that thing when you heat up something in the microwave, you stop the time, you don't finish it, you open it, you close it, and the microwave thinks you're gonna go back. So it's flashing and it says food.
I thought it was like, oh, is it food? I thought it said 0
I do it
0.
all the time.
I know you do. Been meaning to talk to you about that. I thought it said 0 0 0 0. I thought they just
I
hadn't
thought
set
it
the
said
clock.
food.
Ew, this was the scene out of a horror movie.
Oh. It was early morning. She's wearing her PJs. He's going
I know.
to work.
They were really doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. And it's funny because I thought, oh, maybe they turned the clock off because they didn't want to give away what time it was because it was 4 PM. But I guess you wouldn't know what time it is.
She looked like she's just rolled out of bed.
Yeah, but you could see out the window it was pitch black. So, anyways, okay, I guess if it was like 10 p.m. Anyways, thinking too much about it.
Yeah, I think it
Jovi's
was the
going-
morning. She looks like she slept. She doesn't look like she's going to sleep.
Right. So Joey's going for work. He's got to be away for a few weeks, but they still haven't resolved whether or not Yara's going to go to Europe before he gets back or if she's going to wait.
But she finally agrees to wait for him to go with her.
And I was like, okay, cool. I'm glad you guys resolved this. Now go to sleep. But no, Joey leaves. I'm like, wait a minute. So you guys literally just waited till the last second to decide if You were going or not?
I'm sure they decided, but they kind of
It's like,
decided it for us.
If they didn't decide then what? Joey's going to be away at work and she's going to be on a plane with Milo flying to Europe. It's like, you guys waited to the last second.
I can see her doing that. So.
I could see her changing her mind and be like, nah,
Yeah.
I'll see you in Czech, Jovi.
But 2 weeks later, she's meeting Mama Gwen, got her green card,
Yes.
got her friendship back, friendship with Mama Gwen.
Yeah.
So it's all good. She's super happy. She's super excited. I love Mama Gwen, but this is what I have to be like, what a moron.
Oh, Mama Gwen. Let's not use the M word because that's pretty strong, and we like Mama Gwen a lot.
We do.
She had a moment of stupidity, I would say.
Yes.
A brief moment of stupidity.
I honestly wish that Americans, every Americans, buy a map and look at it once in a while. The globe. Not just the map of the United States. The freaking globe.
Yeah.
And look at it. Or listen to the news or learn something. Like Mama Gwen is saying, oh, but I'm worried. Like, what if they drop the bomb, but they miss Ukraine?
What if they accidentally drop a bomb on another country? On the wrong country?
I'll tell you this, Mama Gwen. The second they would drop a bomb to anywhere but Ukraine,
don't even jinx it.
that would be a third world war.
Yeah,
and the U.S. would be very deeply involved because the
Okay,
U.S.
knock
is
it.
in NATO.
Not good. Yes.
As is the Czech Republic, as is Poland, as is Slovakia,
Yeah.
as is the rest of Europe. That would be so bad that you wouldn't have to just worry about Europe being in Europe. You have to worry about the world.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. It makes me wonder why. Well, I guess my parents aren't as naive or ignorant as Mama Gwen. But when I was like, hey, we're going to Czech this summer, they were never like, oh, is that safe? Oh, are you okay there because of the war? They were just like, all right, have fun.
I had a few coworkers who asked.
I had a coworker, yeah.
And I'm like, why wouldn't baby?
Right. No, I had
those
someone.
were people who said, well, but you're on the border with Ukraine. I'm like, no, we're not, you moron.
Well, Slovakia.
Yeah, so?
So it used to be Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying it's close. It's not like it's the opposite side of Europe.
yeah, it's going to be 30 years since we split up. 30.
I'm just saying.
So, yes and no.
But just, it made me think because Gwen was obviously nervous and I was like, my parents didn't really think twice about it. But
No. I mean, I have a friend who went to Spain. He's like, yeah, I'm not sure if I should go. It's like, why wouldn't you want to go to Spain?
Right.
And he's like, because of the war in Ukraine. I'm like,
Yeah.
go to Spain.
Go to Spain.
I mean, I feel so bad for what's going on there, but honestly, if it's spread out, it's gonna be so bad for everyone.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Agreed.
they can figure it out somehow, knock it.
Hopefully. All right. But that's the story. I think next week we see them in Czech.
They landed at Václav Havel International
Bless you.
Airport, one of the most expensive airports in Europe.
Wow.
Don't ask.
We've been there.
It's new, it's nice, but
All right.
it's very expensive for no reason.
All right. How is an airport expensive? You mean the flights
Well,
are
yeah,
expensive?
everything is like super overpriced.
The food and drink at the airport, or like
Yeah.
the flights?
No, the food and the drinks. Like Czech people, when you fly out of the airport, they don't eat or drink there because it's just not affordable.
Well, it's Prague. That's like New York City. It's the biggest city
Yeah, but
in the country.
still.
All right.
It's like the food, I remember we ate there. The food, normally, what you and I had would be like, if it was like a nice restaurant, it would be like 500 Czech crowns. It was 3,000 Czech crowns.
I'm trying to remember.
It was like it was over $100
Where did we eat?
at the restaurant at the airport. I had,
Oh,
like,
was that
schnitzels.
going to? That was us flying to.
Finland?
Yes, I remember.
Yes.
Like we sat in the back corner.
I remember I took a photo of that bill and I sent it to my parents. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, I remember
This
that.
was like New York prices.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully they didn't eat at the airport then.
Don't eat at the airport.
Okay. No, eat at the airport, but just be prepared.
Yeah. All right.
That's the episode.
That's it.
Can't wait for a little Czech Republic action
Yeah.
next time, but we'll have to wait until then, guys. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. Whole bunch of reasons to follow us on Instagram. You choose why, and hopefully you enjoy it over there at Married to Reality Pod on the
Yes.
Instagram. Also the Patreon, patreon.com/married to reality. We may or may not be in costume at the end of this
May
month.
or may not.
No promises. Well, I promise we may or may not be.
That's as good as it gets
that's
for now.
I can promise. Patreon.com/married to reality. A bunch of good stuff over there. Also, make sure you're following the podcast. The one you're listening to right now, it's so easy to do. You look down, you smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as going to the Czech Republic. In general.
Not the Prague airport. Those prices are not hot.
It's a nice airport. Go there, but...
Good. But be prepared.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. All right. And last but not least, thank you for the reviews. A special shout out to Boba 1986, 1983.
Thank you, Boba.
Thank you, Boba. What a winning review. That's what I would say about that. All right. That is it. I think I've said it all. Have you
said it all.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That means we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.